Hiya, how's everyone doing? I hope you were able to wake up, leave your phone where it is, open your window, go out your front door, back door, screen door, porch door, take your deep breaths of fresh air, let out all the stagnant energy from the night before, and find your quiet time. So that means getting your fresh cup of coffee or tea, having some peace, go outside, stand on Mother Earth, and just ground yourself for the day. Just ground yourself. Just sit there and say your affirmations. Don't forget those, the I ams. I am going to have a good day. I am happy. I am healthy. I am going to eat well today. I am going to laugh today. I am productive. I am strong. So, did anyone do their 7 minutes on the floor yesterday? Try it again today. Do it in the morning, your lunch hour. When you come home from work, if you work, anytime you can find 7 minutes, ground yourself. We talked about that yesterday. It's just a matter of your body feeling safe and stable on the ground on a secure surface, and just relax. Just relax. All right. We're still reading out of Friendly Reminders, Self-Care Savage book. We'll see what this chapter has to offer. My brother Johnny also sent me a poem. I'll read it someday. It's kind of private. But. Stop telling yourself it will get better. It never will. Start telling yourself you have to get better. You don't have to do anything, but it's worth my while to get better. It's more productive to focus on actively working towards improvement than waiting passively for it to happen. Once you figure out what needs to get better, then you can start to shift your mindset by breaking down your larger goals into smaller, specific, more manageable steps that you can focus on. You can't make big changes in a day, but small baby steps, remember we talked about baby steps, make big changes in a day. But small steps lead to progress and thus big changes. When you take small steps, it means you're changing your habit and you can get used to the small change instead of something big and it's dramatic and you're like, it's like all of a sudden one day you say, I'm going to exercise for an hour a day, and you do it for like 3 days and you're exhausted. Instead, start with, I'm going to start walking for 10 minutes, or I'll do a 15-minute strength exercise, small steps, or I'm going to give up sugar from now on, and then you crash and burn by the afternoon. Maybe say, I'm going to give up creamer in my coffee. I'm going to give up my donut that I buy. Smaller goals also help you see tangible progress and stay motivated. The point is that only you can make the changes you want to see in your life. Start with a small step and see where that takes you. Another helpful strategy is to surround yourself with positive and supportive people. Don't surround yourself with someone who's going to knock you down and say, you could never do that, you'll never get that way, you're still this, you're still that. Whether it's trusting friends, family, or a therapist, having a support system can be a valuable resource for encouragement, advice, and stability. It's so important to find your support system, people that you trust, people that you can trust all of your good, bad, and ugly with, that aren't going to share it, aren't going to judge, aren't going to criticize. Those people can sometimes be very difficult to find, but once you find them, let them know, I trust you with this. I trust you with this. Thank you for allowing me to speak, and thank you for letting me trust you with this. Self-care savage up and start growing your self-worth. Remember, change and progress take time, but with hard work and determination, you can make meaningful improvements in your life. It's okay to seek professional help for this and to get some guidance too. It is important to have a positive attitude when facing challenges or difficult situations, and that can be difficult because if you're in a difficult situation, the last thing you want to do is be positive. When things don't go as planned, be kind to yourself. Celebrate your achievements no matter how small. Any little step is a step closer towards change. Focus on actively working towards improvement. Get better and better. So, baby steps. So, this is where you go out and buy your a new pen and a pad of paper, and you write down the things that maybe you want to work on or you want to change. Like, I want to get more healthy, or I want to eat better, or I want to learn more things, or I want to, it can be anything, big, small, ugly. I want to learn a new hobby. So get your new pen and paper, because everybody likes a new pen and paper. Write it all down, and then take a page and just separate it. So the one thing, I want to get healthy. Write down all your baby steps that you're going to do. Give up creamer in my coffee for 30 days. You can go 30 days at a time. If that seems easy to do, then add something else to it. I'll give up my afternoon snack, and instead of packing a candy bar, I'm going to pack this. So that's important. Baby steps. And before you know it, you'll be at the end of a few months and you'll be a totally changed person. So, all right. Our card for today is communication. Communicating can be difficult, especially with people who don't listen, don't hear what you're saying, and you're trying to get across your meaning, but they're trying to get across their meaning at the same time, and nobody's listening. Communicate from your heart and speak your truth without hesitation. Be willing to stand before the crowd and share your center. This isn't the time to be shy and hesitant, but to heal through communication. You're a natural teacher. If you feel some way about something, or you see something and you feel like you need to speak up, because once you speak up, you may be the bravest person in the room, and then someone else may follow your lead. Everybody wants someone else to be the first person. So that's maybe one thing you can write down in your small change. To acknowledge things as they happen, good, bad, ugly, and step forward to say, hey, that was great, or I don't like the way you talk to that person, or I don't like, it's communication. Discretion is the better part of valor. However, sometimes it may be fear rather than discretion that keeps you from reaching out. Everyone gets afraid to speak their mind or to say something, especially when you feel like you want to go with the crowd. Like, I don't want to speak up because I don't want to be the only one saying this. Sometimes when I speak up, if I'm passionate about something, I say the wrong words, or I use the wrong tone or inflection, and it comes across bossy and bitchy. Communication restores trust and allows you to clarify your ideas, position, and feelings. It can be healing when you share what has been withheld. Now is the time to take a risk and have the courage to speak with forthright clarity. Share any unspoken darkness that lays heavy in your heart, even if you're afraid. Declare your truth for all to hear without fear of being rejected or misunderstood. When you do this, transformation and healing can occur. I communicate from my heart, and love surrounds me and protects me. So, again, you can also start small with communicating. Whether you have a boss at work that you need to communicate with, or someone who is difficult to approach. I have someone at work who's a little bit difficult to approach. You never know what mood she's going to be in. So instead of trying to gauge when the best time is to approach him, I just go up to him and say, is this a good time? Can I talk to you? Sometimes she says, yes, it is a good time, but it's really not. And then I say, well, it sounds like it's not a good time. I'm just going to go back and we'll try this again in a few minutes. And that gives that person time to say, okay, I'm going to count to 10. Why did this just happen? Maybe it was me. And then you just have to readjust what you're saying, how you're saying it. Did it come across? How did it come across? But honest communication, I can go in and say, I kind of felt like you weren't listening to me, or I kind of felt like you were speaking down to me, or I kind of felt like this is how I felt. Use your I statements. I felt misunderstood. I felt afraid. I felt whatever it was that you were feeling. But that person also has to understand that's how you felt, and they can say the same thing. Well, I felt like that was inappropriate, or I felt this way. Okay, then how can we get around it? Especially if it's someone that you want to have a relationship with. But someone you work with is kind of important. You need that relationship. Someone in your family, a spouse, a sibling, a child. It's important to step out right away and say, okay, this is how it's going to be. This is what I'm going to say. I always tell my kids, they always know to come to me and say, this may cause you some anxiety. So then I know to reframe my mind and say, okay, and they say, just listen to the end and then you can ask your questions. I asked them to do that. If you're going to come to me with something that's going to make me anxious, please tell me ahead of time so I can reframe my head. You can't really do that with everyone, which is okay, but it's something you have to respect the other person's feelings as well as having them respect yours. That's important. If you come across someone who's not going to respect your feelings, then you probably will not get your point across. They will not communicate well with you, so you're going to have to find another way around it. But communication, it's good to practice that early on and face your fear, face going up to someone that you may be afraid of communicating with a smile and say, I have something I need to say. If you please just allow me to finish before you ask any questions, just ask. That's what communication is all about, and they need to respect that. Just like you need to respect if they come up to you and say, have something I have to say, please let me say it. And you're gonna have to, sometimes I have to cover my mouth because a lot of times all my words just wanna come out, and that's not fair to the other person because they're not getting their point across. So, I hope you can communicate today. I hope you laugh and giggle. I hope you find your joy and go out and stand on Mother Earth, ground yourself and find your peace time and say your I am statements all day today, because you are. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are special. You are amazing. I love you.